We shall now try to understand the working of else if, multiple else ifs, and else statement through an example first and then take a look at the syntax. So let us say I have conducted an examination and based on the marks, I am going to declare whether a student has got distinction, first class, second class, pass class, or fail. So what I'm trying to do here is if the marks by a student is more than or equal to 85, I'm going to say distinction. If it is more than or equal to 60, I'm going to say first class. If it is more than or equal to 50, I'm going to say second class. If it is more than or equal to 35, I'm going to say pass class. And any other value between 0 and 35, I'm going to indicate he or she has failed. So in order to do this program, I require a variable called as marks. So I'm going to first ask the user, enter the marks. So the user is going to enter the marks from the keyboard and using cin, I am going to save the marks. So in a memory location or a variable called as marks, I am going to store the marks. Now the first condition is very simple. I am going to ask the condition or going to check the condition if marks is greater than or equal to 85. I am doing C out and straight away saying distinction. So if the marks are greater than or equal to 85, I am printing out distinction. Then the next condition is else if marks are greater than or equal to 60, then I am going to print or display first class. Else if marks are greater than or equal to 50, I am going to say second class. Else if marks are greater than or equal to 35, I am going to say pass class or I am going to say pass. Finally, if it is neither any of these, I am automatically going to tell the candidate he or she has failed and end the program. Now, in order to understand this program, let us take certain sample inputs and explain. Okay. First thing you need to understand, only one of these C out is going to be executed. Not all the C out is going to be executed. If the marks is, for example, 90, it is going to print distinction, come to get ch and halt. If the mark is say 75, 75 is greater than or equal to 85 is false. It will fall down to the next else if. 75 is greater than or equal to 60 is true. It will print first class and come to this get ch. At the most, one of the condition or one of the statement is going to be executed. Not each and every of these statement is going to be executed. Now, let us try to take a look with different values of marks and try to figure it out. So if I take marks here, let's try to take 32. Let's see what happens. Marks is 32. I enter the marks is 32. 32 is greater than or equal to 85. It is false. So I come to the next else if. 32 is greater than or equal to 60 is again false. I come to this else if. 32 is greater than or equal to 50 is again false. 32 is greater than or equal to 35 is again false. So it is going to print fail and I'm going to end. Now let's give a marks, let's say 55. All right. Marks is 55. 55 is greater than 85, false. 55 is greater than or equal to 60, false. 55 is definitely greater than or equal to 50, so it will print second class and come to get ch. The moral of the story here is at the most one of these statements is going to be executed. If you see, this is almost slanted and looking like a ladder. That's why it is called as the ladder if else if statement also. Now let us take a look at the syntax of this particular chap so that you understand how to draw the syntax or how to write the syntax if you are asked in exam. So if you see here, this is like a ladder. That's why it's called as the ladder else if. This is also an example of a multi-way branching because more than one branch exists. So you have to make a choice between one of these alternatives. Not more than one of them is ever going to be executed. At the most, one of them is going to be executed. More than one is never going to be executed. Now, let us take a look here. If the first condition happens to be true, then it will never go and test or execute other conditions. Only if this condition is false, it will come here and test this condition. Only if this is false, it will come and test this condition, and so on. So if none of the conditions are true, this default or else statement is going to be executed. This else statement is going to be executed if all of these conditions are false, like in the case when a candidate gets less than 35. So this default is optional. It's not required to have this default statement. You can just have else if, and not have the default statement. So if none of the statements are true, it will execute the default statement. Or if you remove the default statement, none of these statements are going to be executed.